What up?
What's good?
Chilling. All right.
Yeah.
So this is Intellect,
Thanks.
and we're bringing to you another interesting concept. Today's interesting concept is intimacy. It was inspired by this dope line from this dope ass poet from Detroit. Oh shit, she right here. Look. What's that line?
Intimacy, into me, see, you see into me.
Right.
Yep.
What does it mean when someone sees into you? You see right through me.
How do you do that shit?
You know, that's intimacy. You know, to be able to see into someone, or to allow, people to see into you.
It could be a person who see you and you don't see you, and they point some stuff out to you. So you know what I'm saying? That's scary.
I think that's still you seeing you, because that's you attracting someone to remind you of something or tell you something.
Yes. Yeah. That's scary. Like, what if you're not ready? Because what if you're not ready to accept that inside of you?
Then you won't accept it. But I think
But if you attracted it to you, then you're ready to accept it, right?
No, you're ready to consider it. Consideration and acceptance are two very different
Yeah,
things.
that's true. That's true.
It's like you have to destroy to rebuild. You know, it was a very, very dope reference from Baba Kamara of the Black Tie Collective at the DPS workshop, where he said, our minds work like computers. Delete all files.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like keep your shit clear of viruses and whatnot. But in order to do that, you have to be willing to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to work. The system works to remove that shit, to actively, consciously consume better things, different things that that will make you stronger, or that will build whatever it is you want to build. Once you destroy that, all right, build it up better. Yeah.
So build it and destroying. So what about adding to? I mean, why do doesn't necessarily have to be a destruction process?
Well, see, destruction is relative, and I think it's like destruction to me is not necessarily tearing things down where you have the wrecking ball. That's not necessarily what I mean. When you transition into another part of your life, you're growing, you're evolving, you're elevating, right? So if you're going to this other level, you have an adjustment period, right? You left your old house, it's like moving, you know what I'm saying? Have you given away all your shit? Do you have what you need? You know what I'm saying? Do the right people know that you're moving? Whatever, and then you elevate to this new space where that transition is a destruction, so that's the climb, that's the sweating, that's the tears. You know what I'm saying? That's the I'm crying because I lost this person, but they ain't no good for me, so I gotta let them go. That's their admittance. That's going through that, and so that's the climb to this new plateau, this new space, and that's when the building starts.
You know what? You just said something that made me light bulb go off. Intimacy also is knowing when to let go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can love somebody, but if y'all destructive for each other, I love you enough to let you go. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we destroying each other, or not even destroying. Like, it's just it ain't working. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, they're like it's. Oh man, this process is so crazy because so like you can be like mentally connected to somebody, but not spiritually connected to somebody. You can be physically attracted to somebody.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Because you can't be. I don't feel like you can be mentally connected to someone if you're not first spiritually connected to them.
They're different components, but you can be physically connected to somebody and not spiritually connected to somebody.
I don't know, because if everything is your spirit, your spirit is the balance of your physical body and mind. So I can't. It's kind of like the same thing. As much as people can like force themselves to do shit they don't really want to do, I can't. I have to have some type of either blockage or some type of attraction to you. There has to be something. I can't think about you if you ain't in my spirit. To carry you in my spirit means to think about somebody or whatever. I can't carry you in my spirit, without having the desire in my spirit to mentally think about you.
So how do one get into your spirit if y'all never had a physical interaction?
Well, physical like touching, or physical like be in a room. Oh, so you don't need that. You don't need that to be spiritually connected.
So how do you open the gate? How does somebody enter into your spirit if, you know what I'm saying, y'all...
If you open your spirit to them. You don't have to open your legs, open your spirit.
I mean, I know that. I know that. I just, my personal experience, I've never like really experienced that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It had to be some type of physical exchange in order for me to be spiritually connected with you. I have, however, been physically attracted to somebody and desired them in my lower chakra. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in my heart chakra, I don't have to feel nothing. Like, I don't have to feel nothing. When I look at you, I feel sex. And when I'm not around you, it's like when I think about you, I feel sex. That's not a spiritual connection to me.
I mean, just because it's not a prominent one, or it's not you expressing I fuck with you outside of the bedroom, that don't mean it's not a spiritual connection. Because when you think about sex, you think about that person. You think about them, thus they are in your spirit.
Okay, so that takes me to this website on Facebook called Spirit Science. And so it was saying like lusting after somebody opens the door to letting spirits in. So if you think about sex and you lusting, then you probably be my spirits. I guess you're right. You right, I'm less right.
It's all love. Build it. Wow. Yeah, it's all love, man.
So it's levels to this shit. It's like so you lustfully in my spirit and not emotion, but no, because that is emotion. So what level is that? Like, what level are you in my spirit then? Like, you at the lower level because I'm lusting. Yeah, you're at the lower level of my spirit.
The lower chakra.
Yeah.
You can get somebody to awaken.
All of I was just about to say that. Everything, yes.
Alignment?
Yes. Boom. That shit, that knock you off your element right there. It puts you into it, but that's in love. That's like, that's something deeper than love. Shit, like, if they can come up with a word that's deeper than love.
Well, see, love is ultimate truth.
Yes. And acceptance, I believe. Because just because you love somebody don't mean you accept them. Like, in my experience, in my personal experience, because, like, for instance,
Is it then love or is it respect for somebody? Because I can respect you and not necessarily fuck with you or not necessarily feel like I need to see you every day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I respect you, but I don't fuck with you. And that's completely different from loving you.
No, because she wasn't giving her respect. I'm speaking like in terms of somebody, like, you know what I'm saying, who I'm gonna love you unconditionally your whole life, like, you know what I'm saying. Then you find out something about me like that don't really coincide with how you feel and how you think, and then I can't accept you, I can't fuck with you, I don't love you no more. That's not love, man.
Yeah, it's two things. It's either A, they never love you, but if you had a reason to believe that they did, then they did. So okay, I'm just gonna share a personal experience I had with that. Okay. So I was in high school. I found out that I was spiritually and physically attracted to women, right? Mm-hmm. And so at that time, and then sadly to an extent in general these days, that for some people it's frowned upon. Oh, you gay? I don't like that. Blah blah blah. The reason for that is based off their conditioning, right? It's been beat into you what the churches say about homosexuality, what you think God thinks about it, etc., etc. It scares you because you never considered it. You might share in the sentiment, you don't want to admit that to yourself. Like this whole spectrum of reasons that people pick and choose from to say, I don't like you because you, you know what I'm saying, because you like people, because you like women. So at that time, I was in high school, and that's that whole, you don't really know nothing about that. So I had an instructor for a social activity I was a participant in, and this was like I really looked up to her. She was like my mama's sister type thing, and it was like I lost my mother transitioned when I was younger, before I had the understanding that I do today of death. And before I had the acceptance that I do today of what transitioning really is. And so, I was in this dark space, this very confused space. And then I'm discovering this other part about myself. Because I spent a lot of time alone when I was a kid. So I ended up like meditating and not really knowing. But anyway, so I felt like she was the only person I can confide in, because like I've been telling you about everything. You know, you've been helping me out. You've been helping me like be able to get out the house, because I was on like this whole lockdown thing. You are, you know, teaching me how to dance, teach me how to do, you know, express myself in the art and blah blah blah. It's like, yo, I really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You are taking time to say, hey, you can do whatever you want to do. You know, you're taking the time to encourage and be a part of that. So I really appreciate it. You know. And so when I was like, I might be running away or something, you know, whatever was happening in my head. And I told her why. Like, I told her everything that happened. And I told her also that it was still something I was figuring out, you know. She, like, got real cold, you know, and it was just like, fuck with that shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so initially it was like, so you don't love me, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, whatever. So we went through this whole thing about it. But then later on I came back to the dance group because she was just like, either way, I'm not going to stop you from growing. If you want to participate in the dance group, that's fine. Whatever, that whole I still love you thing. But she wasn't building with me like we used to build. And I was like, all right. So then she came to me, I think after having another situation, she was like, you know what? God sent you to me because I was wrong for not accepting you, and I am to love, you know what I'm saying, love you like I love the world, etc., etc. She had this whole like realization. She had gone through this entire transition and thing that happened to her, that she explained to me that if the way that our interaction didn't happen, she would have lost her brother.
He ended up being part of lifestyle too?
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was this whole thing. She was just like, I just want to thank you and I want to apologize for the way things happened. Because I was only like 16 at the time. Maybe a little bit younger. But I think I was no more than 16. Anyway, that idea is understanding that you never know what part you play truly in somebody's life.
You don't.
You know?
And even in like even in, I don't know, betrayal, but swear I don't know. Even when somebody pushes you away. I mean, well, yeah, it is kind of cause like you supposed to be my rock, like, you know what I'm saying. And then you just throw me out there like I can't fuck with you no more because of your lifestyle. It was in my case too, with somebody who, you know what I'm saying, my grandma.
You're something different. I'm scared of you. Get away from me. You know what I'm saying? What do people do when they get scared of something? They either run, they attack it. You know, they either run or they attack it.
But are you scared of it in general, or are you scared of it when it comes to me?
Okay, consider this. So, you somebody I've been close to, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We fuck with each other. We done build. We done grow together. Whatever, right? So you now tell me that everything that I know of you might be different, or as far as I'm concerned, is different because of everything that I've heard about what you're telling me. Mm-hmm. So you have this parallel path that we've been on and we've been growing and we've been sharing and I've been building with you and I've been loving on you and blah blah blah, and then you tell me something that baffles what it happened in my head. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to do that. I love you. Now you scare me because I'm what? Get the fuck away from me. You know what I'm saying? This is how they're feeling. And you have to understand that because granted, we feeling the same way. You know, because it's like, I don't know what this is.
Okay. So do you think that you work for the spiritual connection? You know what I'm saying? We get on the same vibration. Mm-hmm. Somebody do something outside of that vibration. Do you feel like that alters the connection altogether if your trust gone?
I mean, it alters it, yes. Will it remove trust? That's completely situational, you know. But if you decided to try to keep this connection strong, and you've thus decided to maintain this, and say, okay, I have to deal with X, Y, and Z, you know, and whatever. But if you decide to love somebody for who they are, mm-hmm. love them for who they are, show them reflection of who they are, and if they make the decision to change it, then that's up to them, and it'll be a benefit, you know. If there is something then that you can't deal with or something that is hurting you, you have to respect yourself enough to leave. But mm-hmm. if they respect the space, or if you both respect the space and understand what's happening and be like, all right, well, you did this, I don't appreciate that, or whatever, and you communicate.
That's key.
Communicate.
And that's, oh my God, that's key.
As long as you communicate, I had to rewind myself. As long as you communicate, you can work through anything.
Yeah, like for real, that respect and communication.
Yeah, and I mean, and forgiveness too, because people do and say shit that will hurt your feelings. But then that also is dependent on where you at. You know what I'm saying? If you are in a place of ego, of course it's gonna hurt your feelings. Or if you in the wrong, or if your intent is not checked, you have to check your own intents, motives, and thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes they can be off, and you can be like, nigga, you blah blah. But it's like, well, self, what did you do? You know.
If you ever find yourself in a position that you love somebody that you don't like, inside of like a relationship.
Well, yeah, but the whole life thing fluctuates because it's like if I love you, and that matters more than if I like you on Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying?
I want to like you and I want to love you.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and that's the thing, like if I say I love you, then that to me that means I like you, and that's just me because I spend the time to like you before I be like, all right, I love you.
Right.
Because
exactly.
love to me is like a commitment. It's saying I fuck with you no matter what you do.
Right.
Right. No matter what we call the relationship we have or whatever, that means I fuck with you, and I've decided to fuck with you.
Right.
Period. Whether we go back and forth from friends to lovers or nothing, and it's a distance or whatever, I love you. I fuck with you. You can call me. You know what I'm saying? I got your back. I got your best interest at heart. Regardless of whether or not we interact physically or, so yeah, so it might be days where it's like, oh, I don't like you today because you irritate me, but then in 5 minutes I like you.
You know what? So why do you think as humans, like, just as being an animal, why do you think that because people are attracted to each other, not so much on the physical tip, but just we can sit here and have an intellectual conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I might be around 15 other people who just not intellectuals, and I meet this one person who be like, damn, yes, she a breath of fresh air. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why do you think people got to turn that sexual? Why do you have to be with me? Why do we have to exchange physical energy in order to, you know what I'm saying, have me be a piece of you, and vice versa?
That's situational. You a piece of me, generally speaking. We ain't never been physical. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but that's because of our connection. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with you as a person. I value your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm inspired by your art. And so, and then, I generally fuck with you. Like, we at the crib chilling, your family, right? So, in the same sense that people, most guys, mama boys, you know what I'm saying? In the same way that they carry their mother in their spirit, it's all about, because you carry with you those who you're around most, those who you value the most, right? And so how you react to that is completely contingent, because there's been times where it's like, I fuck with you and I love you and it's cool, but no, I don't want to have sex with you. No, I don't want you to be my girlfriend. Why are you mad at me now?
For real, no,
because we can still build. You know what I'm saying? But that again is a matter of the way that you communicate and the way that you maintain that relationship. And then of course, what's worth it and what's not, because you have people who it's all about your reaction to the reaction. Everything is a ping pong game of decisions, back and forth. And so it's the different things that, because it's the different things that make you, as far as like close the distance. It's like me and you are at this distance. This distance works. You know what I'm saying? Ain't neither one of us trying to push for closer or for farther, because we are secure and confident in what's happening, and it works. You know what I'm saying? But we consider how aware we are of everything that we've been talking about. So that's the thing to bring to people's attention, is that consider what really matters. When you get mad at somebody, why are you mad? Should you be mad? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get selfish and be like, no, you should be mine because you did something for me that nobody else done.
But that's what I was supposed to do.
Exactly.
That's my role that I'm supposed to play in your life. Right. That's what I'm saying. Why do people have to take that and then elevate it into some other shit? Like, the people don't be understanding. It's like a fine line between what I'm supposed to do for you spiritually and what you want me to do, what role you want me to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the three things is again the communication, their willingness and readiness to embrace that change. And then the general aspect that, you know, when somebody comes into your life, they have to be dope and they have to generally be attractive in order for you to have that connection, in order for you to like drive to them, in order to be open enough to consider anything, you know, especially whatever it is you can't teach them. So, you know,
I don't know. Like, would you rather have somebody like that flow with you on the same vibration, or challenge you to grow, challenge you to
both?
Yeah, I did that.
Because you got to be on my same vibration to understand what it is that is supposed to challenge me. You know, what is it and what? Because you know, challenge is relative and situational. Because I can challenge you on some, you know, I'm being everything that your past looks like, and you're desiring that, but I'm not good for you, right? I can also challenge you like, my nigga, you need to read every day. Take 30 minutes every day and you read. Hey, I'm going to the studio, come through. You know what I'm saying? Challenge you like, you giving me excuses, my nigga, when you have the time, bring your ass to the studio. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's a difference. But I like the balance of both. You know, be able to challenge me, be able to tell me when I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Be able to, because my thing, okay, so my idea of the perfect relationship, both in friendship and in, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, is that we should be able to do everything. I mean, like, I don't want to say physically fight, but like, you know, in whatever ways we grown, we should be able to do that together. Now, whether that's actually us physically doing yoga together, or whether it's, hey, you get up and do yoga before you go to work. Hey, did you do yoga today? That's still doing it together. You know what I'm saying? That's accountability and awareness. You know, and then even making a decision. Hey, we're gonna do whatever to build today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then being able to understand that everybody has, you know, things they have to work through. And people have, you know, people have to take their time with that, and they have to understand that. And so it's like, if I have a fear or something that I haven't had to deal with because either nobody has taken the time to show me the reflection of what I need to deal with, I've decided I wasn't going to deal with it until I found somebody worth dealing with it, because I don't want the people close to me to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the whole addiction thing, you know, from a crackhead. And I meet somebody, or, you know, my family is appropriately communicating with me, or I decide that I don't want to watch my family be hurt by what I'm doing, then I'm going to stop doing it, you know? And so that's the same thing. That's the same respect you have to have for yourself and your partner. It's like, all right, so, but it kind of the fucked up part is that, it's not fucked up, but what has to happen is that whatever that is has to happen. Yeah. And whatever reaction from the people around you has to happen in order for you to be aware of it. But once you're aware of it, it's like, okay, so doing this causes this reaction. Now, what is it in what I'm doing that is harmful? And then it's like, now stop it.
Because people lose fact and sight that when you get in relationships that you still an individual. It's like you got this individual and this individual got a common attraction to each other, but we still coming from two different backgrounds trying to merge this into one situation. Like you said, like, you know what I'm saying, in so many words. And it's like, why do people rush into shit? Like, I believe intimacy is giving a person room to be them, like, you know, and taking time to get to know you. Just cause like we physically attracted to each other, that don't mean we gonna work. So why not take a year, well, for me, a year, but whoever, like, you know what I'm saying, take that window, I should say, to get to know that person and see if that's gonna work out for you, instead of rushing into something and be fighting and be doing all that extra.
So, but this is the thing, because you gonna fight and you gonna do all that extra regardless. Now, why you do it will differ. Yeah. Right? But I don't personally think that has anything to do with the window you take. Short of maybe the window you take to make sure that this is a comfortable space that you want to be in, right? But essentially, the entire span of whatever connection and relationship you have, you're going to be getting to know each other. Because you're going to be getting to know yourself, things are going to change, things are going to grow. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to feel differently about shit today than I did last week. I'm going to feel differently about shit tomorrow than I will next month. And it's about me understanding that change within myself and you understanding it as being my partner and watching it happen. And the same thing, and me being aware of the changes that are happening within you, which is why communication is important. You know what I'm saying? The whole old married couple, been together for 50 years, they don't talk to one another, and blah, 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 blah.
That ain't happy.
Right.
That
That's
ain't
not
happy.
But you decided to become complacent and just be somewhere that's familiar. That's not cool,
Excuse me, do you think, because I heard time don't exist, right? Time don't exist for emotions, like, you know what I'm saying? So do you believe like in love at first sight, or love's like, you meet somebody like, I love you?
Yes.
You know?
But, so there's two reasons for that. So, in sidebar, all of this whole conversation, this is for the viewers, the whole conversation is kind of outside of your typical spectrum, so consider that. But, so there's two things. I love everybody. How much I love you and how I express that are two different things and are going to vary throughout our interactions. But I definitely love everybody. Existing in love is an entirely different thing. But once you exist in a space of love, once we establish there's enough love here for us to be like, all right, I fuck with you. Okay, you can be in my house. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you can drive my car or whatever. Then that becomes the energy that you place. Then that becomes a consideration for communication, a consideration for when you're being an asshole, when you're not, why, and how we fix it.